this tutorial we are going to learn how can we install and get ready to work with our new Raspberry Pi. So the first thing that you should consider is do you need a monitor or a keyboard and a mouse additionally to work with Raspberry Pi as a standalone device? And you may need that if that's your case, but normally we can just use another PC, another computer, in order to access that Raspberry Pi and do whatever we want to control that device without it being connected to a monitor or a mouse and keyboard. So let's do that. The first thing we should do, let's get to the web and search for Raspberry Pi. A typo there. Here we go. Now let's head to the Downloads tab. And Raspberry Pi already prepared for us 3 sets of installation processes. So we have here Raspberry Pi Imager for Windows, macOS, and Ubuntu if you're using Linux. As I'm using macOS, I'm going to download this one. Okay, after it has downloaded, I have installed, and now I can access my Raspberry Pi Imager. Should be rather easy. Just open this, and it's very simple. So let's choose an operating system. I will choose the recommended version, Raspberry Pi OS in 32-bit. And now let's choose an SD card. So as you may know, Raspberry Pi needs an SD card in order to have everything installed. In my case, I already placed my SD card. It's already here, as you can see. And as I don't have anything else, it's just this one. I select it and just click Write. It will warn me that all existing data on this card will be erased. No worries, I can go ahead. It asks for my password. And it obviously takes a little bit. We will wait. Okay, so it has finished, and it says here that we can now remove the SD card from the reader. Well, it automatically ejects, but we will take it off and then put it again in our computer. Here we go, because we have to do something else. In order to our Raspberry Pi connect automatically to our Wi-Fi network, we have to include a file in its root. So let's go to terminal. Let's type in cd, which means change directory, and we can just do this. And here we are inside our SD card. In this case, I can just type in touch SSH. Touch means create an empty file called, in this case, SSH. As we can see on the SD card, here it is, the SSH file that we have just created. So now we are going to include also this file. I will leave this text this code in the description below on this video, so that you can copy and change just the things that you need for your case. So in my case, I have the country is PT, so it's Portugal. You can change to US or whatever. Here you can just write your network name between these 2 quotation marks, and here as well for your password to access your network. So I already changed my conf file with my network name and my network password, so I just put this file over here. Here it is. If you're using Windows, it's the same thing. You just have to use Notepad, for example, create empty files in the case of the SSH without extension, and just leave it like it is. And then you just create this wpa_supplicant.conf, and you just copy and paste the text that I'm leaving on the description of this video. So now we can close this and close terminal as well, and just eject. So now we are going to place that SD card into our Raspberry Pi and then connect it to the power supply. And let's leave it alone for 2 to 3 minutes in order to install everything and to connect to the internet. Okay, so now that Raspberry Pi already installed everything. Inside terminal, let's just type in SSH and pi at raspberrypi.local. And it asks if I'm sure that we want to continue connecting. So let's just type in yes. And let's specify a password. I will put in raspberry so that I can remember later on. And that's it. I'm already connected to my Raspberry Pi. But now I want to use my computer to connect it to the desktop on my Raspberry Pi. And to do that, I'm just going to the web and search for VNC Viewer and download the VNC Viewer to install in my computer. So in this case, this should be it. And on the Raspberry side, let's just do sudo apt get update. Okay, and now let's type in sudo apt get tight VNC server. Let's type Y as in yes. Okay, so let's just type in tight VNC server and let's specify once again the password. So I'll choose raspberry once again, and to verify we just input again. It asks if we want to enter a view-only password, but there's no need. And that's it. So it says here that new X desktop is Raspberry Pi 1. So this is important. In order to discover what is the local IP address, we can just do ifconfig. And here in WLAN, as in wireless LAN, you can find 192.168.1 and in my case .91. So I'll just copy this information here into VNC Connect and then column 1. It asks for the password. And here we are inside our Raspberry Pi without using a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, and even a network cable. So it's just Wi-Fi, and we can do whatever we want with our Raspberry Pi. So if this tutorial was helpful, please drop a like and share with other friends. Thank you.